get the cod or the combo, just because I guess we've gone back to the water more than we ever intended. We've gone back to the well more than once. So Chef, everything that we have is what we have for the lowest prices of the year and the only chance, right?
Right. Well, Shannon, we're actually planning the ribeyes in the back because we feel like everything's going to be gone, both the salmon and the cod. So we are standing by on the pork ribeyes. We will have those, but you never know. So grab it while you can. That's what I will tell you. Now, I've got my cod in here, Shannon. This is what everyone went crazy for earlier. Watch what I'm doing. By the way, I'm giving you the recipes both on my website and also if you're picking this up today, you will get a little recipe booklet that has the beer batter in here. And you can see how quickly, it's so easy to make as well, how quickly that fish will be encased with that beautiful beer batter. Let me just turn that down just a tiny bit. You want to fry at about 350, you guys. Okay, so that's going to take a minute to fry. Let me show you the raw product though. Now this is a wild caught product, and you can see it right here. You're getting all 14 pieces, unless of course you go for the combo, then you get in 7 and 7. It's got that beautiful white flesh. Now that's how it'll come once you take it out and defrost it, but this is how it will arrive. Individually packaged. You can see it right there, perfectly frozen. So it comes to you solid as a rock. Okay, so you're going to take it out and defrost it. Now you can do that just on a plate. You can stick it on my cut-in board or defrost board, I should say, the other way. This will do it in half the time, this board, so it's a great little item. It's also the cut-in board that I've been using. So this cod comes like that. The salmon also comes like this. Now, yes, this will arrive in time for Lent. It will arrive in time for Easter, but I want to tell you something. If you sell fish for a living, guess what you do around Easter, or just before Lent? When you know everybody wants fish, you put your prices up, don't you? Even the suppliers put their prices up a little bit, which is why this is so genius. We're getting it to you well before those price hikes happen. So we're bringing it to you actually at the very best price that we will do all year long. Okay, Shannon, I'm going back to my Faroe Island salmon, still very, very popular. Have a look at how this gorgeous fish literally flakes. It wants for nothing. By the way, you guys, our testimonial call lines are open. We really want to hear from you. I mean, look at this beautiful fish. I always say this too, Shannon. That's a 6-ounce piece. Now for me, that's a beautiful big portion of fish, but you might want to go a little lighter. And if you do, that's absolutely fine as well. I've prepared a couple of different salads to give you a little idea. This is like a little niçoise salad. Here's like a little Greek salad. You could just top that there, top that here. Now you're having these for like $5 a piece. These gorgeous flaky Faroe Island salmon. I mean, and it is just such a great deal and such a healthy, beautiful way to serve your lunch or dinner.
Okay, I'm telling you, this isn't fair that I have to talk. I'm serious. Oh, this is so good. You guys have to try this. Yes, our testimonial talk lines are open. Call after call after call. You know, there are a million pieces of Chef Curtis Stone salmon out there. Not all salmon is created alike. Just like in the jewelry industry, not all diamonds are created alike. This is the best of the best of the best. That signature seafood seasoning does come with it. Remember, they are all individually flash frozen. The salmon, no surprise here, because just so you realize, and I hope that Michelle has quantities at 10 o'clock tonight, I'm not making any bets on this because you have to understand, almost everything was completely gone by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you want the salmon, now remember, you are getting 14 of your perfectly proportioned, your 6-ounce. You can choose it in the salmon. You can, if you're one of the next couple hundred people, get it in the cod. There's just a slightly extended delivery window. You still have it for Lent. And, you know, again, I think it ships out on February 27th. So, you know, if you do have, you know, Fish Friday in addition to Foodie Friday, or if you want that combo, I could almost promise you that I think the combo will be completely gone by that last airing at 10 o'clock. On the salmon, remember, you can choose it in single or auto ship. And on the salmon, it is immediate delivery. You can do it now, and we're doing 5 flex pan everything. It's basically less than you would spend for like the big, you know, the golden arches for a hamburger. And there's that cod. And Chef, when I said final couple hundred on either choice of the cod was gone by like 10 o'clock, you know, 12 noon this afternoon. Right. I call it like the little black dress of fillets because cod, again, is something that it's buttery, it's flaky, it's moist, and this is perfect, isn't it?
Well, here's my grilled. I'm just putting my steam back on the heat because have a look at it grilled. It's brilliant baked. I mentioned to you fried before. Now, here's it as a fish and chip. I'm going to put a little bit of tartare sauce. If you had a little lemon to go beside this, that is all that it needs. It doesn't need for anything else. But you can hear how crisp that is. You're getting this recipe, Shannon. What I'm going to do here is just break this open so you get to see that flaky white cod on the inside here. It is just so delicious, Shannon, and that crisp crust, whether you do it in breadcrumbs as little fish fingers like I do for my beautiful boys. I'm going to take a little of that tartare sauce and that flaky, delicate fish. If you haven't tried cod before, you guys, it's a very, very mild fish. Not fishy at all. The flavor is just delicate and delicious. Oh my goodness. That is so good.
I know, it's actually kind of hard to talk because it melts in your mouth. I mean, the flavor, I'll show you that. So that is, by the way, that coating, that recipe is included. So you're also getting a great little instruction guide and so forth from chef. But flaky, moist,
fantastic,
melt in your mouth, delicious. This is the crowd pleaser, I'll just tell you that. And not only that, it is the best price that we've ever offered. It's the best price that we are doing the rest of this year. So if there was ever a time to try our #1 brand, #1 in food, do it on that 5 flex pay. That means you're also looking at free shipping on everything for the rest of the day, whether it's that soup maker or those great bake and stir containers that we have coming up in just a few minutes. But at least reserve yours, even if you're just doing that single ship. One little secret about the auto ship though, if you are new to HSN, and Chef knows I do this all the time, I'm on auto ship, I'm pretty sure, for almost every food item that Chef makes and creates for us. So, you know, it's just me living alone. So how do I do that? If you go into your order, when you do your auto ship, you can actually change the rotation. So let's say you know you're gonna be getting a lot of his steaks showing up, or a lot of his pork ribeyes, or maybe you've done one of his other, maybe it's the panko shrimp, which is might actually be my favorite food item he's ever done. You can go in and change your rotation. And you can do that anytime. You can have it on a 60-day rotation, then you can move it to a 120, then you can move it back to a 30. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Whole point is though, if you do that auto ship, we are legally mandated to not only come up with the product, but, and remember, because he was completely gone, but then you also secure that price. So the time to act is right now. Get this at home, try it. I know you're gonna be a believer, whether you're doing the salmon, the cod, or the combo. I will warn you, the combo has sold out twice so far, and what we've got right now, that is it. Those are the final quantities, aren't they?
Right. Now, they sure are. The best way, by the way, we're extremely busy, you guys, right now on the phone line, so go straight to hsn.com. That way you don't have to sit in a line. Just go ahead and grab it. Put it in your basket while it's still there. This is the ceramic, beautiful DuraPan. First of its kind. You're the first people to ever see it. We've never aired it before. This is what you do with it. I'm going to throw some asparagus in here. By the way, if you are getting the combo, throw a couple of pieces of each. I've got some salmon, I've got some cod, both going into my pan here. If you wanted to pick up on my spices, I have them for you. There's a salt-free salmon, there's that beautiful Best of the Bay, and that's the Key West as well. You guys, I'm going to give you this real straight. We are going to sell out of this item. If you want to grab it, go ahead and go. I can see the people behind my cameraman running around trying to figure out what we're going to do next. I'm going to put this in my air fryer. It is very quick and simple. Now, you want it at a nice high temperature, so I'm going to go ahead, drop it in here, and then I'm going to crank it up, and I'm going to leave it in for about 5 to 7 minutes, and that is literally all it takes. This just came out of my air fryer. Have a look at this for a bit of an idea. These beautiful chicken, they look like chicken nuggets, don't they? These beautiful little salmon nuggets. Have a look, you guys. I mean, my kids just absolutely love them. This pan, by the way, is oven safe to 450 degrees, so you can go ahead and use it in your air fryer. It is ceramic, but it has the DuraPan coating. And then inside here is my cod. So I do the cod more as fish fingers, and I do the salmon more as these little bites or little chunks. And again, that's just me cutting down the fillets that we're sending to you. Okay, let me show you what it looks like steamed, because I've shown it to you fried, I've shown it to you grilled and baked. Let me lift the lid. By the way, this steamer is coming to you out of our 11-piece cookware set. We showed that earlier. We do have a handful of them still available. I'm going to pull this salmon out, because I tell you what, steamed salmon and steamed cod. A lot of people think, oh, well, I don't know, would it still have lots of flavor if it was steamed? Yeah, in fact, it's super succulent and moist, and I can show it to you right here. Look at how it still just flakes so gently and beautifully. Still a little pink on the inside. That's how I like it. Of course, you can cook it all the way through if you would prefer and give it another minute, but that, my friends, that 6-ounce portion right there, I mean, look at that. It takes up the majority of the cutting board, and I still haven't flaked the whole thing out. You know, so it really is a very generous portion. Both the salmon and the cod do extremely well in that steamer. Delicate flavor. Guys, if you've got the salmon, give us a call. We've sold 1.5 million portions of this salmon here at HSN alone. The reason that it's so popular is because of its incredible flavor. And it's so convenient, Shannon, just having it in the freezer.
There is not a day that goes by. In fact, I would say probably 5 nights out of the week, I'm eating with Chef Curtis Stone because I go to my freezer. It has been my go-to not only during this weird time in history, but the reality is this: seafood prices in particular are going through the roof. If you do that auto ship, and by the way, I can't, you know, I can't see the future, but I can tell you this: based on how many people are choosing what's left of the combo, it's up for debate as to whether or not there will be any of the combo choice left for that 10 o'clock airing. If you want the combo in particular or the cod, I'm gonna recommend that you do it right now. The cod was completely gone, like I said, by 10 or, you know, or 12 noon our time. The combo was gone by 2 p.m. And so what we have in that combo, just so you understand, there are no more. There is no more back order or wait list. It's on a slightly extended delivery window, not by much. It's still there for Lent. I mean, I think it goes out on the 27th, so I think that's technically actually before Ash Wednesday. Just so you realize, we're doing this now and we're doing this for this show. You choose it in the salmon, on the salmon, in both the single and the auto ship. It is immediate delivery. So we've got you off to the races. 5 flex pay, it's on its way to you. Remember, all the pin bones, the skin, everything is removed. These are all center cut. They're all precision and beautifully proportioned. Not all salmon is created alike. Just do a little search on health benefits of salmon. I don't care if it's health or beauty or cardiovascular. I'm not a doctor, but you know, just do a little search. You know how good it is for you. Even Andrew Lessman would tell you that. The cod. When Chef debuted this, it completely sold out. I told him then, it's my favorite fish of all time. And I don't care if you are grilling it or baking it or sauteing it or doing it as fish and chips. To me, it's the little black dress of fish because it's always right all the time. And Chef, you talked earlier about the cod wars. I mean, that is a real thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well look, you're looking at Iceland right here, and Icelandic cod is known throughout the world. It is such a beautiful product, and yes, the Brits and the Icelandics went to war over it once upon a time. And Shannon, look at this. First of all, who's the baby that wrote this cookbook when he was 26 years old? Yep, that's me. But here, look, I dedicated a whole chapter to cod because I absolutely love it. There's that fish and chips that I love so much, and you'll be making that as well. But there's so many beautiful ways to cook it. You know, I've actually done it here as a piece of grilled cod over there, which is just gorgeous. I've done it as a soup. There's so many wonderful ways. Let me talk to you about the value though, Shannon, because here's a portion of salmon. That's 6 ounces, right? So is that. Now, you might want to just cut that in half like I have here. I've now turned my 2 6-ounce portions into 4 3-ounce portions, all right? Come on over to my DuraPan. So this is an induction cooktop. This, of course, is my little griddle, my little single burner griddle. I'm going to just drop these beautiful little portions of salmon straight on to my griddle like that. No need for any oil or butter. You know me. You know my DuraPans, and of course they won't stick. They'll just slide around just like so. But now you're talking about a $5 portion of food. I mean, that is extremely reasonable. And when you're talking about food that tastes the way this does and has the health benefits that it does, look at how it flakes. I mean, oh, perfect on the cook, Gareth. Absolutely gorgeous from my perspective. Like I said, if you cook it more, that's up to you. It will get a little bit drier, but it'll still taste wonderful because this Faroe Island salmon really is just so moist and just so forgiving. Well,
and you know what? The truth of the matter is you'll never really know until you get it at home. And one thing you may not know about HSN, again, we would love for you to discover us this President's Day weekend. Chef is not only our #1 brand, he is the #1 food item. The salmon alone, over 1 million fillets out there. You have to kind of scratch your head and go, what's going on? Because for it to become a runaway customer pick, who raves about eating fish? And I'm serious about that. I mean, you know, people always want to complain. It's like, well, I know it's good for me, but I know it's good for me, but, you know, I know it's good for me, but, you know, there's the smell or the aftertaste or the strong flavor. This is perfection. When I say the best of the best of the best for the best price you're going to see all year, and then I know I keep calling it the crowd pleaser of fish, and that is the cod. And this is really the Epicurean. Of course, our Michelin-starred chef that we're so lucky and fortunate to have on the air here at HSN for 11 years, you know, you've seen him on all the top shows. I mean, I don't care if it's, you know, on his own cooking shows or Biggest Loser. You're going to be a healthier person by eating fish. You don't need me to tell you that. But you know what? It's got to be the right fish. It's got to have the healthier fats. It's got to be easy to cook. You don't have to worry about freezer burn with this. You don't have to worry about aftertaste with this. You don't have to worry about it drying out with this, because they're not only beautifully precision cut and center cut, but they're also individually flash frozen. So you can defrost a little, you can defrost a lot, but do it now, because they were completely gone. And at this point, now the salmon, in both the single and the auto ship, we have immediate delivery. Single and auto ship, immediate delivery. But Rick, I am guessing the auto ship is the more popular of the two. And then if you want the cod, as I said, was really gone by the morning, or the first part of the morning, or the first part of the afternoon here at HSN. The combo. I know for a fact, just because remember, these are hand cut. What we have now is what we have. If you want the cod, I think, can I give them the other, is that the item number, Rick? I'll just do it real quickly. Oh, it's at the bottom of the screen. So the cod, the single ship, 839-615, that's the combo. 839-622, that's the auto ship. And Rick, how many of the combo in the auto do I have left? Oh, no kidding. Do you know what? That is actually going to sell out first. That doesn't surprise me, just because I think you guys realized what a deal that is. And then how many on the combo and the single ship, just out of curiosity? Because most people are doing the combo. I'll just put it to you that way. But any way you can do it, make that call, get it at home, try it for yourself. And the cod on its own is... we now have the final 700 of that cod in that single ship. So Chef, we're more than 2/3 of the way through this airing. Can we just start with some of the basics in case people are just tuning in?
Oh yeah.
Because people have to be thinking, well, I see salmon, I see cod at my local supermarket or fishmonger. That is not what we're talking about here, is it?
Well, it's not. Look, Faroe Island salmon, it either sells to the high-end restaurants or it sells to someone like me who brings it for you. Now, I've put together a whole booklet because I think it's so important to know where your food comes from. And that's exactly what this is about. It's about how to prep it, it's about how to store it, how to defrost it, how to cook it. There's recipes included, not just of the salmon and the cod, all sorts of different seafood. In fact, we've even on one side is devoted all to seafood, and then the other side is devoted all to my beautiful meat. So there's the gorgeous cod and chips recipe, and then when you flip it over, then we've got all sorts of beautiful meat. So we procure this, Shannon, the exact same way that we do for our restaurants. Now, the cod comes to you individually packaged. I can't tell you how good that feels to know that you actually have this in your freezer. So when you're driving home some nights and you're like, oh goodness, I forgot to think of dinner. Well, guess what? You already did think about it because you made your purchase today, and it's going to be in there, and there's 100 different ways that you can cook it, and we're giving you all of those inspirations. What you're seeing here is my thawing cutting board. Of course, that's the cutting board side. This is the thawing board side. This plate will defrost your pieces of fish 50% faster, right? So in half the time. It's very, very popular today, you guys, so don't miss out on that, because it as well is... We've got lots of things in limited quantity today. Get your salmon, get your cod, get the combo. I really think that that is the move today. Get 7 of each. It comes to you in this cute little box with all of the recipe cards, and of course, every single purchase gets this great seasoning packet, and that's the seasoning that you're seeing me use. So, I've got more cod that's just come out of the oven. Let me go ahead and bring it over to my cutting board. This is what I love so much, Shannon. I mean, just look at how delicate it is, right? So this has come straight out of the oven, right? So this was baked. You've seen me grill it. Right next door, I've got that Faroe Island grilling. You saw me fry it earlier on, and then you saw me even do it as those little goujons or those little fish fingers. Absolutely gorgeous with a squeeze of lemon you want for nothing else. Serve it with some mashed potato. Serve it over a salad. You know, I've got a little tomato and herb salad here. Shannon, you could literally bring your board over and just go like this and leave these gorgeous big chunks of fish straight over, and everybody that comes for dinner would be like, oh my goodness, how on earth did you cook it? Finish it with a little bit of that signature seasoning and you have a gorgeous, gorgeous meal. Same with those little portions of salmon that I mentioned before. Here they are. Now this is those 3 ounce portions. So this is 2, which would have cost $20, right? So I've cut it into 4. So now you're talking about a value of $5 per piece. And when I go and show you how this flakes, Shannon, it's exactly the same way. Absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Just beautiful. I've cooked this one all the way through. So like I said before, you can cook it all the way through. You can leave it a little pink in the center. The choice is totally yours.
It is indeed. Here's the thing. Whether you've seen Chef on the air earlier, we were all jealous of Marlo out with you at Four Stones Farm, or whether you're discovering us for the very first time, I want you to get this. And I know that's a pretty bold statement, but whether it's myself or Debbie Denman is going to be in the house at 9 o'clock with Fashion Friday. I know she'd tell you the story, and Marlo did too. Her husband is not a fish guy, or in particular, a salmon guy. It was one of the Good Eating shows, or Good Eats with Marlo, where her husband was here. And if it can convince people who don't even like fish, let alone salmon, I promise you the most persnickety palate in your home, they're going to lose their minds. They've never tried salmon like this. And not only is it the best salmon at the best price and our #1 food item and 1.5 million, it's the only time that you're going to see it at this price. So definitely do it now, and definitely do that auto ship, because then we cannot raise that price. But remember, it's also easy. It would be one thing if you get something, it's like getting the exercise bike or the great treadmill. You know, if it's hard to use or complicated to use, it's kind of like, what was a good thought, but I'm not going to do it. We've heard call after call after call, and please call us. I know Chef would love to say hi to you. Basically 3 or 4 minutes per side. Bada bing, bada boom. Same thing with the cod. So you're not standing and basting and cooking and frying. And if you put it on that thawing plate, that thawing / cutting board, which thaws, I think, Chef, if my memory serves, up to 30% faster, at least, you know that's one of my favorite products that you do. The thing is, it's not only better for you, better flavor, but it's also easier for stressed out chefs everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, look at this, Shannon. This has just come out of the oven. This is my ceramic non-stick. This is the DuraPan, first time ever seen. But have a look at how simple it is. I mean, talk about that combo. To me, it is without question the right way to go. There's your salmon. There's your cod. There's all that beautiful asparagus that you cooked with it. So it's that ideal sort of sheet pan dinner. But let's have a look at that salmon. You know, that Faroe Island salmon. I want to show you it one more time. I want to show you that beautiful, pristine environment, because whether it's the salmon or it's the cod, you want it to come from a wonderful, wonderful place. Let's jump into that Faroe Island video one more time. I mean, talk about a beautiful place to go and visit. There's no one around, Shannon. There's no people, there's no cars, there's no pollution, there's no problems. It's a great place for fish, let me tell you that. These guys live their best life, and the most beautiful thing of all is it is a natural breeding ground for salmon. And what that means is it has strong currents. The salmon, of course, are attracted to that area. They absolutely love being there. Ice cold water, pristine environment, so very pure, and that's exactly what you want. Now, this is aquaculture, right? So it's a very sustainable way of bringing seafood to the table. Of course, we then can control the food, so they're having a very natural diet. No GMOs in the diet, of course. So that, to me, is very important. Freshness is the other thing that I think is just so important. These fish are literally taken out of the water. The day they harvest, they clean the fish, and then, of course, they freeze the fish. And when I say clean, what I mean is pieces. They remove all the bones, all the skin. They take the center cut only. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little curry, then I'm going to show you what the center cut actually means. I've actually diced this one. So I've diced 2 portions of my salmon, 1 portion of my cod. You could do it the other way, by the way. There's no rules. You can dice it however you want. It's going into a little green curry paste with some coconut milk. And then I've got some carrots, a little bit of bok choy, and some cauliflower. I dropped my lid on. Shannon, 4 minutes later, dinner's served. Put a timer on, you guys, 4 minutes. That's how long it takes. That's how long it's going to take me to explain the center cut of the salmon, because that's exactly what we bring to every single one of you, right? So we remove all the bones. We remove the collar. And go and ask your fishmonger to do this for you. Go and say to your fishmonger, hey, buddy, go ahead and remove all the bones. Remove that little thin tail piece, because I don't want that. Then take the skin off. Then take the pin bones out and give me perfect 6-ounce portions of that center cut. I think he'll probably laugh at you. The truth is, Shannon, we love doing it. We love doing it for all of our customers, but this is the prime. This is the most expensive and the most beautiful piece of the salmon. We give you those perfect 6-ounce portions. I said 4 minutes, and I wasn't messing around. That's all it will take to cook that curry. I'm going to go ahead and lift the lid. As soon as you see it come to the boil, you'll already see, if I dig in, you'll already see this salmon starting to sort of change colour. Cod as well, it'll be starting to change colour in there as well. Where's a piece? There it is. You know, so it's only been in for about 1.5 minutes. We need about another 2.5 or 3. I'll bring it up to the boil quite quickly. So easy. Shannon, whether it's your air fryer, whether it's your grill, whether it's your beautiful saute pan or the DuraPan that you got from me, you will be cooking, steaming, poaching, boiling, frying. Every single cooking method works with both of these fish. They come individually packaged, and you guys still have the last opportunity to pick up this combo pack. But when I say it'll be gone, it was gone in the middle of the night last night. I rang the guys. I begged them to do some more. They said, we can't do it immediately. The only way we could do it is if we got a few extra days to cut this fish. I said, no problem. I said, the customers will understand. But they said, but that's it. There is no more. So this is it, you guys. This is the final quantity.
It is. And to that point, Chef, that's one of the reasons you want to do the auto ship. So the only reason, and if we've got footage of Chef's beautiful farm, I'd love to show that as well. We're going to the source. I mean, Chef he's a butcher at heart. He is a Michelin-starred chef. He's our #1 brand, #1 in the kitchen, #1 in food. And the only reason we have any of these to show is because he parlayed on his success and his partnerships to make it happen. But one caveat to that is what we've got is what we've got. But if you do that auto ship, and this is what's really critical because we are headed into the home stretch and the final quantities, period, on any of the choices, if you do that auto ship, like as an example today, cod was gone, combo was gone. You know, basically we didn't have anything to do for this show, but if you do that auto ship, the onus is on Chef. No matter what the supply chains are or how seafood costs in particular have just gone through the roof, you're going to secure that price, and you're going to secure it as long as you're enrolled. Do you see that flex pay? We don't charge you until it's shipped. That's the other cool thing about this. So we don't charge you until it is shipped or on its way to you, and that means for less than $28, you can get it at home. The salmon, it is immediate shipment, and that is on the single or the auto, and then it is final call, y'all. If you want that cod, either in the single or the auto ship, I am down to a couple hundred, and then we're getting close to saying the same thing on the combo. We're off to Wisconsin, though, where Carol is calling. Carol, it's Shannon. You are live with Chef Curtis Stone. Welcome. Hi, Carol.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Really good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm enjoying the snow, though.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, I'm glad I'm not there. We're enjoying the sunshine down here.
Exactly. Hey, Carol, I've had a few fish fries when I'm in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Have you tried either the cod or the salmon, or what would you like Chef to know?
Well, I have not tried his cod or salmon, but I have a lot of his cookware. One thing that I don't hear him saying, since that's froze right away, that's why you've got such good flavor.
True.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Talking of good flavor, can I just show you what I've just done here? I put 1 cod and 1 salmon in my little cedar wraps. This is how they look. I soak them, right? So talking about flavor, then you wrap them up and stick them on the grill. Now, we only have less than 100 of these cedar wrap packets to go around. Let me show you. Oh, no, they've sold out. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Guys, when I say things are on the move, I really do mean they're going fast. But that's the cod. That's the salmon, for those of you that picked up on it earlier. And all you're going to do... You know, by the way, you could cook in a little bit of aluminum foil if you don't have the cedar wraps. You could use a banana leaf as well. But... When we were talking Wisconsin, you guys have got some of the most beautiful culture up there. You've got all of that Nordic culture, a lot of seafood eating up there in Wisconsin for sure. What's your favorite way to cook fish, Carol?
I like it poached myself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yum.
Well,
So good.
Carol, walleye will never look the same ever again.
Oh.
Or lutefisk.
Oh, no, we'll skip that one.
Right, exactly. You got to draw the line somewhere.
How about some Cincinnati? Have you ever had that?
I have. Wow, you got one up on me. Carol, you have been such a hoot. I'm so glad you got to say hi to Chef, and, you know, ufta. I'll throw in a good ufta for you. Carol,
there you go.
Great to have you here. But, Chef, you know, that's an excellent point, because my parents actually live on a lake, and Carol's right. When we do ice fishing, I mean, when we freeze it, it locks in that flavor and that freshness. So this is different than even getting, like, say, a salmon fillet or a cod fillet at your local, you know, supermarket or fishmonger. It's kind of like buying a house. You know how with a house they say location, location, location? Same thing holds true with seafood. So, but then it's also the cut, like a diamond. So like the cut and the clarity, the cut of the fish. Location to location, location, like your real estate. Location where it comes from. And that's just part of the reason. It's just, you hit it out of the park. I mean, it's just, it's unparalleled with its taste, its flavor, its ease, and its affordability tonight, right?
Yeah, you're so right. Look, when you freeze something, especially the way we freeze it, we're not talking about sticking it in a giant freezer where there's a bunch of stuff. This is flash frozen, right? So you drop the temperature really quickly, so you keep the integrity. I actually had a caller earlier today that said, it's not even like frozen fish. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because I think of frozen fish as a positive, not a negative, but it does have to be frozen the correct way, which is extremely quickly. And then when you defrost it, you want to do the opposite. You want to defrost it yourself, and I suggest putting it on the board. Happens within an hour. By the way, I've just pulled out one more piece of cod. Okay, this is another one of my deep fried. Matt's going to get me that tartare sauce. Listen to how crispy that crust is. And when I break into this, I tell you what, you see that gorgeous white flesh. You can see it right there. You can hear how crunchy it is. And when I say that white flaky cod, you can literally just see how perfectly flaky that is. And Shannon, if I wasn't so greedy, I think I've burnt my tongue about 5 times today, and it still hasn't stopped me. That's the interesting thing. You would think that if you kept doing something silly that you'd kind of learn, but, you know, here goes.
Oh, I love it.
It just tastes so good, though, Shannon.
But you know what, Chef, it's so funny. I mean, you can't make a bad mistake. I mean, this is mistake-proof. I mean, it really is. Moist and fork tender and flavorful. By the way, the steaks that Chef is coming up, I've seen you actually cut those with a spoon, which is insane. So at least try it. I don't care if you're baking it, grilling it, frying it, sauteing it, cubing it, doing a niçoise, even doing like little, you know, fish sandwiches, especially whether it's Lent or Ash Wednesday that's around the corner. Remember, this is the best price that you are going to see, period, for the rest of the year. Even if you're on another auto ship like I am, I know that's something that Marlo talked about, you might want to lock this in, because I'll just tell you, at basically $10 a fillet, less than that, if you cut these in half, which a lot of us do, I mean, for $5, you can't get that at the Golden Arches. The one thing I will tell you, though, auto ship, auto ship, auto ship, auto ship in any of the choices is selling out. If you want the cod, Rick, we're going to be like, how am I doing on the cod in the single and the auto ship? Okay, We have only 600 remaining on that single ship, and we have fewer than 1,000. So we're looking at the last couple hundred in the cod. And then on the combo, now the combo, remember you're getting 7 of each. That is the most popular in your single or in your auto ship, and there is no more, going back to the well. So more than 2 to 1 people are selecting that auto ship. Remember, everything is on a 5-pay flex pay this weekend. We're gonna pay to send it to you. Once you're at $75, you're looking at free shipping. So now you've paid for your shipping for the rest of the day, and you do that $50 off apply and buy. That is like the best ever. Hey, Carol, thanks again for calling us from Wisconsin. And Carol was talking about his cookware, how much she loves Chef's cookware. This is my little secret sale. It's another one of those that was not supposed to be